Welcome to Long COVID Radical Self-Care, where I provide simple, non-medical tips and tools to help you on your healing journey. Today I want to talk about one of the most common mistakes I think we can make with long COVID and how we can avoid it. And I want to talk about a prescription that may help. When you're experiencing something unusual and concerning in your body, like a new or more severe symptom, what do? Not just with long COVID, but anytime. Chances are, at some point, you call your doctor. Some people reach out to a doctor pretty early, and some procrastinate until the situation is really bad. But sooner or later, most of us call the doctor for help. Why? Because we expect, or at least hope, the doctor will be able to explain the symptoms and provide some kind of treatment. If we're lucky, we may be able to take a prescription for a week or two, and the condition will be resolved. And that's great. But what if the doctor doesn't know what's wrong and can't treat it? As most of us with long COVID are painfully aware, medical science doesn't always have the answers, at least not yet. It can leave you feeling pretty hopeless and even helpless if you're waiting for research, but it doesn't need to. Most of us learned from a pretty young age to look up to doctors and respect and trust them. I grew up thinking doctors were pretty much infallible superheroes. I now know they're not infallible, but I still look up to them and I still trust them. We give medical professionals a lot of well-deserved credit for being smart and for being experts in their field, which they are. But sometimes we don't give enough credit to ourselves. We don't always give equal weight to the fact that it's our body and we know it better than anyone else, and we have the ultimate responsibility for it. Because they're so knowledgeable, it's easy to put doctors on a pedestal and become almost subservient. Have you ever hesitated to ask a doctor a question because you didn't want to look stupid, or you thought they were too busy and you didn't want to waste their time? I know I've been guilty of that. Without realizing it, we can become almost a passive participant in our own health care instead of taking the lead for it. The most effective relationship with your doctors and anyone else on your care team is a collaborative one in which you're actively engaged as equals, working together to improve your health and wellness. Ideally, your appointments with your doctor are a back and forth discussion where you're comfortable asking any question you have and airing your concerns, and you leave satisfied with the plan that's been developed. I know that's not always possible. What if your doctor hasn't accepted your condition as a legitimate diagnosis and you can't find another doctor? I've heard of this happening with long COVID. I've also heard about it with fibromyalgia. I'm only slightly reassured to know that these views often evolve with time. For hundreds of years, doctors thought that epileptic seizures were caused by evil spirits. Eventually, science learned that it was an electrical issue with the brain. But the fact that science evolves isn't much help to someone suffering right now. Whether you have a great doctor or not, remember that you also have a big role to play. And even if your doctor doesn't seem to be a lot of help, there are things you can do to improve your health. When we put all our faith in the doctor, we tend to focus on what the doctor can do for us and lose sight of the many things we can do for ourselves. So what I'd like to invite you to do today is to think about the aspects of your health that are within your control, all the things you can do for yourself to support health and healing. To be clear, these are not instead of what your doctor recommends, but alongside what your doctor recommends and with your doctor's blessing. In effect, I'm inviting you to write your own prescription for the things you can do to improve your health. Empower yourself and take control of your health as best you can. Here are 5 general areas to consider for your prescription. 1. Complementary treatments. Do you think you might benefit from massage therapy or hydrotherapy or acupuncture? Maybe physiotherapy would help some of your symptoms. Maybe you've always wondered about seeing a naturopath. Maybe it would be helpful to see a mental health professional or clergy to process the changes that have occurred in your life. Give some thought to professionals other than your doctor who might become part of your care team. Therapies other than what your doctor may have already recommended. Ask your doctor if there's anything else that might help. 2. Sleep. Are you already sleeping well, or are there things you could try to promote better sleep? If you haven't seen my episode about sleep, I'll post a link to it in the description below. It has tons of simple tips. There's an Irish proverb that says, "A good laugh and a long sleep are the best cures in the doctor's book." I don't know if they're the best cures, but they sure can help your physical and mental health. There are daytime and evening habits that can set you up for good sleep. They won't help every single case of sleep disturbance, and you may need a sleep specialist to professionally assess and diagnose your sleep issues. But you might want to try some simple things at home first, or while you're waiting to see the specialist. 3. Diet. Are there some dietary changes you could prescribe for yourself to improve your general health? Most research now recommends a diet that minimizes processed foods, dairy, and wheat, and focuses on plant-based food, especially vegetables, beans, and nuts for optimum health. And don't forget water. My naturopath recommends you calculate half of your body weight in pounds and drink that many ounces of water per day. So if you weigh 120 pounds, you want to drink 60 ounces of water per day. If you weigh 180 pounds, you want to drink 90 ounces of water per day. If you need some inspiration around your diet, pick up a health magazine or book. I always find that just reading one of them boosts my motivation to eat healthier and changes my behavior. You can start with one little change. Maybe your prescription for now is simply to drink a glass of water with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or maybe you're ready for a major change and you want to look into intermittent fasting. Read some books or articles, talk to your doctor, find what's right for you right now. Number 4, exercise. What's your prescription for exercise? Are you getting the right amount to support your health? Many of us have various physical limitations that affect exercise, but in most cases we can still find some kind of exercise that's safe and effective. If you've got physical limitations, talk to your doctor about adaptive options. For example, if you have dizzy spells, perhaps a physiotherapist or trainer could give you a routine you can do while sitting safely in your chair. If cardio or lung issues make strenuous exercise dangerous, maybe Tai Chi would work. Whatever you do, try to make it enjoyable. Listen to your favorite music while you exercise at home, or join a group that makes exercise sociable and fun. That way, you'll stick to it. Speaking of fun, that's the final area I want to mention. Not just fun, but enjoyment in general. What's your prescription for bringing a little more joy into your days or your weeks? I realize it's not easy when you're not feeling well, but it is possible. What can you watch or read or listen to that will lift your spirits? Who can you call or visit? Don't underestimate the power of happiness on your health. William London said, "To ensure good health, eat lightly, breathe deeply, live moderately, cultivate cheerfulness, and maintain an interest in life." To sum it up, work collaboratively with your medical team, advocate for yourself, and do whatever you can do for yourself to improve your overall health. Remember, you need to take the lead. It's your body and your life, and you deserve the best possible health. Thanks for joining me. If you found this episode helpful, please take a second to click the like button and subscribe. It's free and it'll help me get this message out to other people who could benefit from it. I'll see you again next week. Until then, be kind to yourself and each other.